All right, welcome to the K and O Show. We are going to be bringing you weekly reports on games that's happened throughout the week, giving you our take and opinion on it. And I am a former college football player, played at NAIA, Campbellsville University, very small school. Also coached football for over 11 years and have loved football ever since I was probably younger than Owen here. So my cohort here is the Big O. He'll be helping me with stats and all kinds of other odd facts throughout the year. So introduce yourself there, Owen.
Hi, my name's Owen. I'm 12 and I love football.
That's all you need. Got to have a passion. All right, so what we're going to do today is we're going to give you our top 12 that we think is going to end up and hopefully end up in the playoffs. So I will start with number 12, which is going to be Boise State. I believe Boise State, with their quarterback they've got, transfer from USC, I think he comes around. They're going to be really tough. Their defense is going to be legit, and they have one of the best running backs in the country. So I think Boise State's going to land that 12 spot somewhere and get one of those at-large bids for one of the G5 schools.
My 12 is Utah. They're always in the rankings according to ESPN, and they're always at the top, really, in top 15. And I think they'll do better than they always do. So.
Good pick, good pick. All right, my number 11 is my Seminoles. I'm hoping they'll be at 11. I'm hoping they'll get in the playoffs this year, unlike last year. They had to replace a lot of people. Replacing Jordan Travis won't be easy to do, and I am not a DJ Iguodala fan. I don't think that he is assertive enough. I don't think he's enough leader. I think his decision-making is a little suspect at times, but he looked a lot better at Oregon State when he wasn't asked to do so much. So we'll see how that goes. FSU's defense should be lights out again. Should be one of the top defenses in the country. That should hold them together. They have a tough schedule. Got to go at Miami, at Notre Dame, and then play Clemson. So those three games right there, and another game, they'll have Florida. Now, Florida, I don't think is going to be that good this year, but it's a rival game, so that'll be tough on them. So we'll see how it shakes out for FSU, but I believe they're probably going to be in that 10-2, 9-3 range, and hopefully maybe come out, win the ACC, and get one of the bids. 11?
My 11 is LSU. They always have a good offense, but their Heisman winner last year left, so I don't know how they'll be, but I see they're always pretty good. So
should be in the mix, shouldn't they? So my number 10 is Utah. I've got them a little bit higher than Big O does. A lot of reasons. Cam Rising, their quarterback's coming back. Kyle Whittingham is an excellent coach, always has his teams ready to play and play physical. They always have a hard-nosed defense. I think Utah is going to fall in that top 10 somewhere.
my 10 is KO's team, FSU. I also think their defense is really good. I learned from KO. DJ doesn't make good decisions, but I think he'll work out there.
Hope you're right, Big O. All right, my number 9 is I'm not sold on, but I believe they're going to be in there somewhere. Number 9 is Missouri. Man, they made me a believer last year, especially coming back and beating Kentucky like they did, and some of the other teams that they played last year really tough. Really played Georgia tough last year. So Missouri's one of those teams that I think is going to be really good in the SEC, and they don't have a brutal schedule. So watch out for Missouri. I think they're going to surprise a few people.
My 9 is also Missouri. I really like their quarterback, Brady Cook, and since they lost their star running back last year, but they will probably make up for it for their wide receiver.
Well, they did get that Georgia State transfer for the running back, and they've got Luther, that star receivers.
Luther.
Yeah, they'll be okay. All right, my number 8 is And this one's hard for me because I get so tired of hearing the Penn State hype every year. Listen, Franklin, either, poop or get off the pot, brother. Get it done this year. I mean, come on. I mean, last year your offense was terrible. There was a couple games that, y'all set football back 20 years. Looked like I was watching Iowa out there. I just don't feel like Penn State is going to make a big push in the top 5, but I do got them in my top 8, mostly because of their schedule and their talent. I think they've got enough talent to push through their schedule and end up around that 8 spot.
My number 8 is Notre Dame. I like their coach, their offensive line, and their defense is always top 10 for me. But they have a pretty hard schedule because they're independent. So
my number 7 is the same as Owen's number 8. I have got the Fighting Irish at my number 7 right here. And big reason I've got them up there is they always have a stout offensive line. Like Owen said, always got a good defense. But they're also getting Riley, the kid from Duke, their quarterback, transferred in. Kid's gutsy, makes good throws. I think he's going to be a huge upgrade for Notre Dame, and you're going to see them really move up. Even with that hard schedule, they could lose. I think they could lose 2 to 3 games and still end up making the playoffs, is that independent spot.
My number 7 is Michigan, the reigning champs. Even though their coach Harbaugh left for the NFL, I think they can. Probably get back this year. Their O-line's always really good. They always have a good running back, but their running back left last year.
So for my number 6, it's going to surprise some people because they're going to have them a lot higher. The Texas Longhorns. I'm not sold on Texas. I'm not sold on their defense. I think their offense will be fine. I think they'll do quite a bit of stuff. I know people are going to say, well, they're in the SEC, and that is going to make a difference. Playing in the SEC week in and week out is different than what a lot of these conferences have to do. So we're going to see where Texas shakes out at, but I'm not sold that they're going to be as good as everybody thinks they are.
My 6 is Alabama. Even though they lost their coach, greatest of all time, Nick Saban, they do have one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in college football. They're always a good team, franchise, whatever you can say. Their defense is always good, and I think they can come close to the national championship this year.
Oh, all right. So my number 5 is the same as Owen's 6 is Bama. Bama's always loaded with talent. The recruiting classes are always in the top 3 for the last probably 8 or 9 years. So there's still a ton of talent down there. Then you had Kalen DeBoer, who is a fantastic coach, who's won everywhere he's been. From the very lowest level to now, Kalen gets it done. So I feel like Coach DeBoer is going to walk into Bama, take Jalen Milroe, and make him even better than he was last year. So I feel like Bama's going to be now their schedule is tough. It's going to be a tough little schedule. But I feel like Bama is going to rise up and still not miss much without the GOAT being there.
My number 5 is Ole Miss. Their QB star, Jackson Dart. They're always quick off the ball. They're quick on the ball, and their atmosphere is really great. So I think that will win them a lot of games.
Is one of the best places to tailgate at, Big O. All right, my number 4. We're already at 4. That's good. All right. My number 4 is the Oregon Ducks. Now, I feel like Oregon's going to have a great team this year, but I am not buying into the Dillon Gabriel hype. You can if you want, but I'm not going to. I think he's going to be a fantastic quarterback. I think he's going to really succeed out there, just like Bo Nix did last year, because I thought Bo Nix was kind of mediocre. And he goes out there and, Bo Nix was lights out last year, really was. So we'll see how that plays out. I think Dan Lanning is building a great defense out there. I think he's got a lot of 5-star kids on his defensive side of the ball that's going to make a difference. I put him at 4, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. They've got some big tests early, and after that shakeup, we'll see what happens.
My number 4 is also Oregon. They're really a good team, but Dylan Gabriel, they act like he's Jesus there, so I don't know if he was really good at Oklahoma. I don't know how he would do in Oregon, so their defense is always good. Coach isn't bad. Their O-line's pretty good, and yeah.
Okay. All right, we're up to our top 3 now. My 3 is going to surprise a few people. It's going to be Ole Miss. I'm putting Ole Miss there in my number 3 spot because they are returning a lot of talent. Now, they did lose Judkins to Ohio State, their star running back, but they have Jackson Dart back, their quarterback, who's really good. They field a really tough defense. As Owen said earlier, they're quick to the ball. So they've got a lot of team speed all the way around. And they've got Lane Kiffin, who is a offensive mastermind. So look out for Ole Miss. I think they're going to make some noise. And their schedule is in their favor. So they are playing a little better SEC schedule than most have to play. So we'll Ole Miss, hoping you're getting into that 3 spot.
Number 3 for me is Texas. They're coming in new in the SEC with their rival Oklahoma, and I don't know how they'll fit, but I think Quinn Ewers is top. I'm gonna say number 1 quarterback in the SEC right now. So their defense is pretty good, and yeah, their coach, I like him. Yeah.
So Sarkisian, you like Coach Sarkisian?
Yeah.
Now, do you think Quinn Ewers might be SEC Player of the Year?
Mhm.
Ooh, big oath.
Him or
Slapping predictions early.
him or Jackson Dart.
Oh, wow. Leaving 2 big quarterbacks out of the SEC, going with those 2. Okay. All right. So my number 2 is the big bad wolf in the SEC for the last few years, even though they lost to Alabama last year. Georgia Bulldogs, loaded as usual. Kirby Smart has them ready to go. Carson Beck, big favorite for the Heisman Trophy, and maybe SEC Player of the Year, not according to Owen over here, but he's a good one. They also get ETN from Florida. He transferred in. I don't think he's as good as his brother, but I do think he is a very, very good running back. So we'll see how that plays out for Georgia. I believe Kirby Smart's probably one of the best college football coaches right now in America. So I feel like Georgia is going to be right there in the mix when it all shakes out. Biggest problem with them is their schedule. It's pretty brutal.
My number 2 is Ohio State, even though they got that running back, Quentin Judkins.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Day, KO doesn't like him. And I think they can do good this year. They always bring in talent, and they have a not so bad schedule. So yeah, I think they'll do good.
All right, time for our number 1s. My number 1 is, and this hurts my soul and my heart. Can't even believe I'm going to blasphemous this out, but Ohio State is my number 1 pick because I believe that on both sides of the ball, they just absolutely have more talent than everybody else. New defensive coordinator came in about 3 years ago, has really got their defense rolling. They're going to have one of the top defenses in the country. Great interior line, great linebackers. And then on the other side of the ball, you bring in Will Howard, who's a tough-nosed, hard-nosed kid, and you get Quinshon Judkins and the 5-star Jeremiah Smith coming in, and all the reports are saying he is as advertised. To go along with already a loaded roster. But the big catalyst for me is Chip Kelly leaving his head coaching job and coming to be an offensive coordinator at Ohio State, that tells me that he thinks this team has the potential to ride it all the way out. Now, Ohio State will have to go through a little bit of a rough schedule. They're going to have to play Oregon at Oregon, which is going to be a dandy. That's going to be a tough one. And they'll have to play Michigan at some point. If you'll notice, my top 12 did not have Michigan in that. And the reason is I don't think there's enough in the cupboard left for Sharon Moore to get Michigan there. But they're still going to be a thorn. They play Texas early. We'll see how good they are. But Ohio State, ugh, I just almost threw up in my mouth there a little bit saying that. But the Suckeyes are my number one team. Ugh.
My number one is Georgia. Like Keo said, they brought in Etienne, I think, who has NFL talent. The quarterback Carson Beck returning. He wasn't bad, but their coach Kirby, I think he'll do really good again. He always brings them into championship talk. So their defense is top 3 in the SEC mostly, and I think they'll win the championship this year.
Big O's calling it. Thinks they're going to win a championship this year. Well, hey, they very well could. All right, so next what we're going to do is O and I are going to bring you our sleeper teams. These are our teams that we think that are going to be under the radar a little bit, but are going to do way better than anybody expected and may even crack that top 12 at some point to get in, maybe try to get into the playoffs. So mine is going to be Nebraska. Nebraska's been kind of on the edge for the last 4 or 5 years, just haven't been able to make it over that 500 hump. So Matt Rule went to Temple, and I think his first year there, I think he went 2-10. In year 3, Matt Rule had him at 10-4. Okay, then he goes to Baylor. Baylor, he has him 1-11. His third year comes in, they're 11-3. So Matt Rule goes in and he switches around programs. He makes a difference. So he's ahead of the curve here a little bit. Nebraska was 5-7, I think, last year. So Matt has come in and he's done a good job recruiting. You know, they got a big 5-star recruit, pulled him away from Georgia, and pulled some other guys in through the transfer portal. I think they're going to be around a 9-3, 10-2 type team this year, maybe. And it's kind of bold because Nebraska only won 5 or 6 games last year, 5 games, I believe. So we'll see if he can get it done. But I've got faith and he can do it. And yours is, Big O?
My sleeper is NC State. Even though they don't have that tough of a schedule, new QB, I think they'll crack the top 12.
Okay.
They have a lot of good transfers. They have their new wideout. Well, not new, but Kevin Concepcion,
yeah.
who won Rookie of the Year last year in the ACC. Elite running back transfer Jordan Waters.
Okay.
And I think they'll crack the top 12, probably winning about 9 games, so 9-3.
Okay.
Coach is really good, and the new QB, I think they'll fit their style. He can
Now,
run.
is that Grayson McCall?
Yeah.
Okay. From Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he can run really good. He's an explosive quarterback. He can throw since he's a quarterback. So.
Well, we hope so, Big O. Well, NC State's very physical, and they cause a lot of problems in the ACC, that's for sure. All right, so now me and Big O is going to bring you our home report. Living in the great state of Kentucky here, we are going to report on Louisville and Kentucky. I'm neither a Louisville hater or fan or Kentucky hater or fan, but I do like seeing them both do well, especially during football season. And then when they play each other, I don't really have a choice. I have to root for UK obviously with, my man over here cheering for UK. And if y'all know his mother, she is part psycho during football and basketball season. The rumors are true, she does sit in the chair with the butcher knife. So you really want to watch what you're saying. So I really am cheering for UK in the UK Louisville game out of fear for my life, mostly. So no further ado, I will report on Louisville because Owen won't be able to. His mother won't let him. So Louisville has more talent than they did last year. And that's saying a lot because last year they made it to the ACC championship game. They also play a very physical style of football. A lot of people think of Brom as a slinging around the yard kind of coach, and it's kind of high paced and more new age. And really, if you watch their games, they run the ball a lot and they play a physical style of defense. Very good up front. So, a big upgrade at quarterback. The kid they had last year was not very good, I didn't think. Slow on decision makings. Tyler Slaw, is that how you say that name? Tyler Shaw. I can't say this kid's name to save my life. It's spelled Slough or something. He was from Texas Tech. If you know college football, Texas Tech, they don't bring anybody that can't sling that ball around. So I feel like they're getting an upgrade looking at his stats. Him transferring in is going to be a big help. And Brom brings in recruits. He can coach. For one, he's a fantastic coach. For two, he brings in talent. And that's what you have to have in today's game. You've got to bring the talent in, and you better be good with your X's and O's because everybody else is. So I feel like Louisville is going to have a really solid year. I figure they're going to end up in an 8-4 to 10-2 type scenario. It is not out of the reach with their schedule to look like they may be able to reach an ACC championship game if everybody else beats themselves up again. That's, yet to be seen. We'll find out.
Maybe top 12.
They could be in the top 12. Big O's according to him. And without further ado, for you Cat fans, here's the Big O report on UK.
I think UK will do better than last year. They went 7-6 last year, losing to Clemson in the bowl game. They got a new offensive coordinator, Bush Hampton from Boise State, who did really good there. According to him, they're going to run the ball 30 plus times.
Whoa.
With their new running back out of Ohio State, Chip Trayanum.
Yeah.
And their defense is really good. Top 10 defense, in my opinion. They have a really good defensive tackle. His name is Deon Walker, 6'5", 340. And I think he can do a lot. He's fast off the ball. And
he wreaks a lot of havoc there in the middle, doesn't he?
Yeah. They have a really good quarterback room right now. Probably starting as Georgia transfer, Brock Vandergriff, who is, he can do a lot. He can run the ball, throw the ball, quick with his decisions I saw, and I think he'll do good at Kentucky.
They got the kid from Owensboro back too at Kentucky, I believe.
Yeah.
The Wimsett kid, I think he might have been at Rutgers.
Oh, no. And then they got Gavin Wismat.
Oh, yeah. So who's your favorite UK player?
Right now?
Well, yeah. Better be careful with this one.
Oh, of all time?
No. Who's your favorite right now?
Oh, okay. I'm going to say Barryon Brown, the wide receiver. Right. I think he's a junior right now.
So my favorite is Octavius Oxidine. I don't know what you're thinking, but considering we have his, jersey in the background over here, so don't worry, Ox. No bad feelings here.
He's my second favorite.
He's Owen's. You're his second favorite now. So just in case you know.
I think they'll win about 8 games. No, probably 9 games. Winning
Okay.
the bowl game.
All right.
Yeah, they're in the hardest conference right now in college football, so they have a really tough schedule, playing 4 ranked teams: Tennessee, Georgia, Texas, and Ole Miss.
Yeah, it's a rough schedule.
Yeah.
and you think they're gonna win 8 games and then win their bowl game. Hey, if they win 8 games out of that schedule, that's good.
Actually, they play 5 ranked teams. Louisville.
Oh yeah, Louisville will probably be ranked at that time too. So, yeah, that's going to be a tough schedule. So, that is the Louisville and the UK report right there. We're going to be trying to bring this to you every week. It'll be usually on our Sunday. We'll have it set down, ready to go, and kind of give you our take and our report on stuff. We'll pick a few games from that week. We'll try to keep it short and sweet. We won't do like a lot of these clowns that come up with these reports and are on here for 2 hours jabbering about nothing. So, that being said, hope you guys have a great Sunday. See you next week.